need to see our doctors and our dentists for regular checkups to keep our bodies healthy, even if we're not feeling sick. But what about this concept? What about a marriage checkup? Well, according to my next guest, we should all be getting a marriage checkup too. Please welcome Dr. James Cordova. He's the author of this new book, The Marriage Checkup. Here he is. Welcome, Doc. How are you?
Great. Nice to meet you.
Well, now, I think I have an idea of what a marriage checkup is, but why don't you, since you literally wrote the book, define it for us. What is a marriage checkup?
Well, just like your annual physical health checkup, what we're trying to do is design a way for couples to give themselves an annual marital health checkup. So it helps couples to assess what the strengths of their relationship are, to go over any areas that they might be concerned about, and to give them tools to help them keep their marriage healthy.
And do you recommend that people are doing that with professional help, or with the book they do it themselves, or what?
Well, it's great if couples can do it by themselves. We're working on ways for couples to be able to do it with professional help, but it's such an urgent need that we're trying to design these ways for couples to do it for themselves.
You're saying that this is important for every couple, not just couples that are like on the verge of separation.
Absolutely,
divorce.
absolutely. So this is for couples from when they get married, you know, newlywed and happy, all the way to 50th wedding anniversary, whether you're happy, whether you're struggling. So imagine that you only went to see the dentist when your teeth really started to hurt. At that point,
okay, who told you? That's my MO.
You know, at that point, something's gone wrong with that tooth, right? But that's what we have for our marriages. The only time that we can actually tune into our marriages is when they start to hurt and they grab our attention. What we're trying to do with the marriage checkup, exactly, we want it to be preventative. We want to provide couples with these regular opportunities to tune in, pay attention, be appreciative, and work on the things that you're concerned about.
My husband and I have close friends, and they've been doing this very successfully. They go to a therapist every once in a while, but they've always had a healthy marriage. They did it as a preventative thing, and it's really worked for them. So I'm very curious about this. We heard from a couple who was interested in having their own marriage checkup. So, of course, we put them together with Dr. Cordova. Let's take a look at what happened.
Kenny!
Yeah.
Do you know where the baby's diaper bag is? Ken and I are very happy in our marriage, but like most couples, there are a few things in our relationship that we could definitely work on. Kenny.
Denise, seriously, I'm trying to eat. Biggest one, I believe, is communication. I'm just gonna eat, and then I promise you I'll get back to you later.
Back to me. Uh-oh. Give me a kiss. I am a happy stay-at-home mom. Hi, baby. Ken works a good 10 to 12 hours a day, and he sometimes isn't home till 9, 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go check my email.
Denise, I just walked in the door.
We're like ships passing in the night. We're on different schedules. Hey, Kenny, a lot of our family decisions are made on the telephone. Are you gonna be able to stop at the store today to pick up the cupcakes for the birthday party? You have to go potty? Okay, come on.
Where'd you order?
I'll call you back.
Denise. Hello, Denise. Denise. We're both lawyers, so I think that affects...
We both like to talk.
Interruptions.
We can go back and forth on the most minute issues. It could be as simple as, are we gonna give turkey sandwiches for lunch? And he's like, well, do you want Alpine cheese? Do you want Swiss cheese? Do you want... I'm like, the baby just needs to eat. We go to bed sometimes with issues unresolved.
Or I fall asleep in a conversation at the late night.
That has happened. It's something that we know we could be better at, and we just have to find more effective ways to communicate. He needs to be changed.
I know, I heard it.
Where's the cupcake?
Tell me a little bit about why the two of you are interested in getting a marriage checkup today.
We both like to be right, and you can't always be right. In my litigation and in my other hat, you know, it's a point of convincing someone of something that they wouldn't ordinarily believe. Sure. But in a relationship, you could argue till you're blue in the face.
So in those situations, any way to sort of call a cool down? As it turns out, we're actually fairly poor judges of when we've actually returned to baseline, when we've actually calmed down. We actually tend to need 45 minutes to an hour, believe it or not, for your body to relax again, and then coming back, which of course you have to come back. And so there's a little concern that I have that
you may not come back?
Well, for me, I'm just more tired by the time I get home. Maybe it's not the time to talk about what kind of cupcakes we're going to have for our daughter's birthday. Some nights I'll actually walk in the door and I'll be handed, you know, my son. Sometimes a few minutes would be helpful.
I feel like his few minutes might be the train commute. When Kenny comes home, it's usually in the 14th hour of what I've been doing all day. So for me, mentally, I need a break.
I think the first thing is just to recognize that nobody's fault, right? The door opens and you're both exhausted. Maybe one thing you could do is take turns, right? So that you know on these particular days, when he gets home, you're going to be able to just hand him the baby, right? And you know on these particular days, when I get home, I'm going to get half an hour. Let's be up against this impossible thing together. And when we can tap into that spot where, yeah, right, we're friends. We actually do love and care about each other. Somehow it seems like more options open up and more willing to just be honest about this is what I need. You know, what can you do, friend?
Well, thank you.
Thank you. How long have you been married? Why are you looking at me? Did you not know he was married?
No, I assumed he was, but I'm just saying you always get into people's lives.
I share it with you. You're in my home, so let's come to your house for a while.
Exactly.
I saw a lot of people nodding their heads. I think this is something we can all relate to a little bit. So when we come back, we're going to see what's changed for this couple. Marriage Checkup, and we sent a couple of our viewers to get their own marriage checkup, and now they're with us magically in the front row. Please welcome them. We got Denise and Kenneth. They're here with us. Kenneth looks mighty handsome, and Denise, you look very fetching today. And we're happy to spring you for the day. Yes. So, guys, I know it's only been a couple of days since the good doctor gave you the checkup and all, but do you feel that this was helpful at all?
Rachel, it was very helpful. Just the opportunity to talk face-to-face without the 3 children present was just very, very
refreshing. Just have a grown-up
refreshing.
Conversation for a few minutes, right?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, yesterday we were able to purchase 3 goldfish for our children without serious negotiations, and it was just miraculous. And thank you, doctor.
So, Kenneth, what did you learn from this checkup?
I definitely learned that, you know, you have to take time for your marriage and time to just communicate with each other and try to find a time without the kids.
It's so hard when you're exhausted, though, right?
It's very hard, and as you saw from the video, oftentimes I fall asleep in the middle of conversations.
Well, your body's tired.
Correct.
So's hers.
Correct.
Yeah.
But just like a financial checkup, or like you said, you have to go to the dentist, you know, you have to take the time in a marriage and do an annual marriage checkup. I think that's something I learned.
So have you guys even had an opportunity to try that one night on, one night off kind of?
Not yet. With this practice, it's hard sometimes to say Monday you're on, off.
Gotcha.
But we're going to figure out a way that works for our family, definitely. The doctor gave us some very good insight.
Well, you know, maybe if the day's going your way and you think you're going to be home a little earlier than usual, maybe you text her, tonight's a good night for,
Yeah.
you know, for me to take the kids over, that kind of thing.
Well, I made dinner last night, so.
How was it?
It was great. It was great. And he also got the kids dressed this morning. So thank you, doctor.
Double header.
Yes.
Look at you, Superman.
amazing.
Somebody's taking his vitamins.
Right.
So, well, good doctor. I mean, if we can't all physically come to you,
Right.
what do people do? What do the rest of us do?
Well, there are some questions that couples can ask themselves to sort of give themselves an at-home marriage checkup. One of the things that you can ask is ask about the quality of your intimacy. Do the two of you feel safe being yourself with each other? And that's a big indicator of how healthy the relationship is, how safe you feel being yourself. Another thing you can ask about is the quality of what we call radical acceptance. To what degree do you feel like you accept each other, not just for the things you like, but for the things that are maybe not your favorite thing? We talk about it as accepting each other warts and all.
Yeah.
Another thing that we have couples do is ask about how they express hurt and anger to each other, because it's going to happen. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get angry. There are ways of being hurt and angry that are healthy for a marriage in the long run. And then there are ways when they start to become personal criticisms, attack against the other person's character, that are more corrosive over time.
Yeah, I think that comes when you let things fester.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that gets to the final point, which is ask about the quality of your repair. I mean, are you good at forgiving each other? Are you letting little hurts accumulate over time? As little hurts accumulate, it can actually drive the marital immune system down. So you want to repair those hurts as quickly as they happen.
Yeah, when you have a little cold, say, I got a little cold.
Absolutely.
Don't let it turn into walking pneumonia.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, is it true? Did you bring one of these for everybody?
I brought one of these for everybody.
That's so generous.
We're just giving them away.
Guys, if you're watching from home, we'll put the Good Doctor's tips that we've learned today up on our site, and we have a few copies of the Marriage Checkup for you guys as well. Guys, you know what we say? If we give you one for free and you like it, maybe you buy one for a friend, for a married friend, and let them get a little checkup. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you to our couple, of course.